the amazing Mary Watkins. Good morning. God's healing power is restoring and revitalizing our world this very moment. And I'm going to feel that about myself too as I cough through this. All is well. Welcome to the Unity of San Leandro Sunday morning message and meditation. We're glad you've chosen to worship the God of your understanding with us this morning. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We honor all paths to God and provide a philosophy that is spiritual, that is love-based, not based in fear. I'm Reverend Diana McDaniel. I'm here at home for us to come together and stay online, to stay connected so we can continue worshiping together. And we have an opening prayer, and I invite you to join me in it and let my words be your words. And so I invite you to breathe and just breathe in the idea that there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotent. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives and in our affairs, God the good. And so it is. Amen. We are in the state of California, and we still do social distancing and wash our hands front and back. We wear masks, and we are, I just got my booster. I'm very happy. George got his, and we will be traveling, and I feel safer having my booster. We are continuing our goal of cultivating calm and releasing anxiety. We want to release all the stress, right? Normally George would read the Daily Word, but he's not here. He's out picking up my granddaughter from the train station. He'll be back soon. The word for today is divine order. Sunday, November 7th, 2021. The affirmative statement is, I live in harmony with divine order. I live in harmony with divine order. And the message reads, life is in constant motion, even if that motion is imperceptible to me. When I feel stuck in place or impatient with my progress, I consider the gradual yet orderly pattern of the seasons as they change. The single golden leaf I notice one day will become part of a blaze of color just a few weeks later. The brisk chill in the morning air soon will lead to biting cold and snow. The first tender seedlings of spring will bring bright blooms and a verdant canopy, followed by the long, sultry days of summer. Little by little, one season turns into the next. My growth and understanding may happen in much the same way. Even if I don't notice changes day to day, my life is always in motion and in order. And the scripture is from James chapter 2, verse 22. You see that faith was active all along his works, and faith was brought to completion by the works. And so we give thanks for the Daily Word. The Daily Word is a magazine that Unity publishes with a message for every day for 2 months. There are 2 months in this little book. And it has articles in the front and a message for every day. It's amazing sometimes how it actually is the perfect message for the day. Our Unity Worldwide Ministries provided us in the beginning of the pandemic a prayer, and I'd like to use that one today. So I'm going to invite you to breathe and turn within and listen to these words. We know that God is a love that has no end and a power that knows no bounds. God's healing power of divine life is restoring, healing, and revitalizing our world in this very moment. We let go of any fears or anxieties, and we affirm that all are safe, healthy, and protected. We bless all those who support us in maintaining vibrant, radiant health. We express divine life in all we think, say, and do. We bless our global family with radiant health, peace of mind, and abundant love. And so now I invite you to turn within in our meditation, and hopefully we can hear Mary playing. Mary, we can't hear you playing. Are you playing? I can't hear you at all. So, electronics are very interesting. I can see her fingers moving. Can you see her fingers moving? Anyway, let's turn within and let's be in a place of being open and receptive to the living Spirit of truth. And so we breathe and breathe in that pure life of Spirit. Breathe out the love that we are. And I invite you to just sort of open your hands and be in that place of being open and receptive. And I will too. And so we acknowledge there's only one presence and one power. It's known by so many different names. This morning we focus on wisdom and love and power, release, strength. We focus on the idea that we are one with the one. And so we breathe again, breathe in that pure life of Spirit, breathe out the love that you are. See it filling the room that you're sitting in, wherever you are, if you're in a car, if you're in a restaurant, wherever you are. Just be in a place of knowing that that divine love is enfolding you, surrounding you, blessing you. Focus on love and wisdom and strength and release, elimination. We focus on the 12 powers that we have active or activating within ourselves. Our master teacher said, "Be not afraid, for lo, I am with you." So we're open to guidance and governance and doing what is ours to do. I invite you to bring forth whatever prayer request you might have this morning and just be in that place of allowing it. Allowing for the possibility of good to happen in your life and to happen in the lives of those you love. To allow for the possibility of good to happen in the lives of those we don't love. We call forth good. We call forth that activity of God. We call forth holiness, which is really wholeness. And so again, we breathe. And whatever prayer is yours this morning, let us see something good happening in that situation. Things being taken care of. That good is happening all over the world. That healing and restoring and revitalization is happening. That everybody who's asked for help receives the help. Everyone who needs comfort, comfort is comforted. And so again, as we join together, as we are united in prayer, let's just be in a place of knowing something is happening that is good. And so it is. Amen. I still don't hear Mary. So I'm just going to walk over here and see if I still can't hear you, Mary. She's playing. I don't know what happened. There is no sound at all coming through. So we'll just be in a place of, I love Mary playing the Lord's Prayer, but let's just be in the place of saying it ourselves. All right? You join me. Our Father, Mother God, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And so it is. And at this time, Mary was going to be playing a song. However, whatever's going on here, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you a story. I found this on Facebook, but it's a true story. In March 2012, Lawrence Anthony died. Now, Lawrence was a legend in South Africa, and he wrote 3 books. They were best-selling. One of them was called The Elephant Whisperer. And Lawrence bravely rescued wildlife and rehabilitated elephants all over the globe. He rescued elephants from human atrocities, including the courageous rescue of the Baghdad Zoo animals during the U.S. invasion in 2003. Well, 2 days after he died, 2 days after his passing, the wild elephants showed up at his home, led by 2 large matriarch elephants. Separate wild herds arrived in droves to say goodbye to their beloved man friend. A total of 31 elephants had patiently walked over 12 miles to get to his South African home. Witnessing this spectacle, humans were obviously in awe, not only because of the supreme intelligence and precise timing that these elephants sensed about Lawrence's passing, but also because of their profound memory and emotion the beloved animals evoked in such an organized way. They walked slowly for days, making their way in a solemn one by one queue from their habitat to his house. Lawrence's wife, Francois, was especially touched, knowing that the elephants had not been to his house prior to that day for well over 3 years. But yet they knew where they were going. The elephants obviously wanted to pay their deep respects, honoring their friend who'd saved their lives. So much respect that they stayed for 2 days and 2 nights without eating anything. And then one morning they left, making their long journey back home. Something in the universe is greater and deeper than human intelligence. Now, I tell you this story, it's a beautiful story. I tell you this story because humans have a belief that humans are superior to animals. And I think it's time that we release old beliefs, many of our old beliefs. That's just one of them. One of the things in unity is that we believe that we have the freedom to choose our beliefs, that we can change our beliefs. You know, you've heard the expression, change your thinking, change your life. So we want to be able to recognize that we can release the old and embrace the new. I want to acknowledge that in 4 days, it'll be Veterans Day. And I want to say thank you to our veterans and their families. The families worry and feel like they're serving too. My husband's mother said she prayed every day that he would come home from Vietnam. His grandfather cried when he left to go, and they hugged and he cried because he thought he'd never see him again. I was engaged to George, but I was like too young and foolish to think I'd never see him again, you know. I knew it was a possibility, but I just knew he'd be back. So I just again want to say thank you to our veterans and to their families. Veterans Day is coming up. So good morning again. Whatever I release will bless me. That's the affirmation. Whatever I release will bless me. Release is the ability to let go. Here's another affirmation. I release anything and everything that no longer serves my unfolding good. You get it? We don't want anything to hold us back. We release all that no longer serves us. You know, release means to set free. And relax means to make it become looser or less firm. And I think it's like a combination. We have to relax and release. We have to release worry, release anxiety. In relaxation, we let go of tension in our minds and in our bodies. And in releasing, we let go of people, things, thoughts, and anything else we need to set free. So today, this month, we're talking about release. Years ago, I don't know how many years ago, I was in Auckland, New Zealand, which is halfway around the world from here. And my daughter Lori was driving because they have their steering wheel on the right side of the car and they drive on the left side of the street. And it was a bit too much for me to handle. And she was living there at the time. It was pouring down, raining, and we were on our way to the Auckland Museum. And we had a program we wanted to see. It was a Maori cultural presentation. And we were late due to the rain and the traffic, but we found a parking space right there in front of the museum. When we got inside, we found out we'd missed the program because we were too late. We were disappointed, but we had to release the disappointment and make the best of it. We were there. The program was over. So we visited the museum shop, and the cafe. Now we had to let go of being disappointed. You know how it is? I mean, I could have been, oh no, I wanted to see it, or whatever, you know, I could have been dramatic. However, we both just decided that it was done. But we could enjoy being there. We were sitting in the cafe when suddenly people from all over different places, corners of the building came, stood almost right in front of us, and began a Korean cultural musical dance. They began almost right in front of us, and it was just beautiful. So we went for one program, but we saw another.
Call from spam 510-210-1709.
Whatever we release blesses us. So we let go of the drama, we let go of the disappointment, and it was like we were open for something else to come in. We could have been upset, but what good would that have been? We all have problems and we all have disappointments of one sort or another. And many times we pray for relief, R-E-L-I-E-F, relief. In unity, what we seek in prayer treatment is a complete release of any limited thoughts and feelings so that our entire attention may be given to God. It's the same concept as the golden key. When we have something that's going on that's a situation that we can't handle, or we don't feel like we can handle, or we're looking for guidance, or or whatever the challenge might be, a healing, the goal is to focus entirely our intention on God. In a book by Ernest Wilson, he's an old-time Unity minister, he wrote, "Somewhere in all effectual prayer, and in every quiet miracle of answered prayer, a point of release can be discovered. A point of release can be discovered. A point in time where one who is praying experiences a sense of assurance, a feeling of transference of the responsibility from his human hands to God's hands." So you get it? Sometimes in treatment, we call it. It's a prayer treatment. Sometimes in treatment, a person begins to feel tense because we're anxious to bring about a demonstration for another individual in mind, body, or affairs. This type of tension has an undesirable result. I'm both the one doing the prayer work and the one being prayed for. Tension interferes with the normal functions, our biological functions like our breathing, our circulation, our elimination, our digestion. And when there is tension in the mind, resulting from fear of whatever, of delay, of doubt, or success, or worried that the demonstration won't happen, there's interference in that free flow of action, that free flow of spirit to bring forth the desired result. So a person who is tense when he prays is not an open channel for the healing power of God. So I want to say, let it go. Let it go. Let go and let God. Sometimes when we're tense and worried, we pass on that worry when we're praying for somebody. We pass it on. The goal is to let that go. Release the anxiety. Release the worry. I remember years ago, again, my other daughter, when she was about 13 or 14, was having menstrual cramps. She was in a lot of pain. She was in the bed in her bedroom, and I was a relatively new true student, and I wanted her pain to go away. I had been sitting with her in her room. I had read about Mary Baker Eddy and how she would sit at the bed of some of her patients, praying for them, a prayer treatment, and healing would happen. So I was sitting in her room at the foot of the bed. And then I thought, I can't stay in here because she was in too much pain, and I was like too concerned, too worried. So I decided that I would leave the room, and I told her I'd be right back, that I had to go to the bathroom. I didn't really have to go to the bathroom. And so when I got into, because I felt like, because I told her I was going to the bathroom, I had to really go. So I went and sat down, toilet seat down, I just sat there, and I was contemplating that she was in this pain, and I was thinking, well, if thoughts are things, and thoughts are effective, and we can change our thoughts, and we know the illusory nature of things, and that of myself I can do nothing, but I can be open to her not being in pain. I can remember sitting there and going through thinking, and all of a sudden I said, she should not be feeling any pain. And so I get up and I start walking down the hall. I'm marching down the hall. And the worry was instantly gone. And as I'm walking, I'm thinking she should not be in pain. I get to her room. She's not in the bed. She has gone to the bathroom. Now, the way I had been walking, had I known she was in the bathroom, I would have thrown the bathroom door open. However, I called her name, and she says, I'm in the bathroom. And I go and I slowly open the bathroom door, and she was lying on the floor. Had I opened it fast, I would have hit her head. She was lying there. Now, she was saying that she didn't want to move because her pain was gone. And she was scared to move. said, okay. So I just left her there and went back. And later I asked her, not much later, when, maybe it was half an hour later, I asked her, what happened? She said as she was sitting there, all of a sudden, it was like this giant wind, she said. It was like it just pushed her off the toilet, and when she fell on the floor, she didn't feel any more pain. I thought, wow. Jesus said, the words that I say unto you, I speak not from myself, but the Father abiding in me doeth his works. Whatever I release blesses me. When her pain was gone, I felt blessed. I release and let go and let Spirit run my life. We have the ability to release the negative and embrace the positive. My thought was she should not be in pain. There was a song in the 50s, maybe the 60s, maybe the late 40s, I don't know. It was accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. And the words go and latch on to the affirmative and don't mess with Mr. In Between. Bing Crosby and the Andrews sisters sang it, so did Ella Fitzgerald. You can find it on YouTube. It's accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. And that's our goal, to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and not to mess with Mr. In Between. Each month this year, we've introduced one of our 12 powers. We can improve, heal, develop our lives in positive ways of continuous development. We can use our power of wisdom, strength, imagination, love, understanding, and all our faculties, all our powers to get help and to get well. The power of release is not pretending that we don't have any problems. Especially, we might have a serious problem impacting your life, like alcoholism or compulsive gambling or spending, or fits of rage or anger or other toxic feelings or behaviors. And if we're diagnosed with a serious illness, we don't pretend that it doesn't exist. We allow for the possibility of healing. We allow for the possibility of overcoming by knowing the truth that we are whole. Jerry was in a lot of pain, and I didn't want her in that pain. Now, this is effective at times, and at other times we don't understand. It's like we live in mystery. There was a 10-year-old boy I saw on the news who was diagnosed with cancer, and he said he knew he'd be okay because Tom Brady, the quarterback, told him to hang in there. And he said it was one of the toughest times, but when he was going through this period, Tom Brady told him to hang in there, and the little boy released fear and said he knew he could beat it. Release is a letting go of anything that stands in the way of expressing the fullness of God's good. Release is letting go of anything that stands in the way of expressing the fullness of God's good. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said, as elimination is necessary to the completion of the digestive process in the body, so renunciation, release, is important to the completion of the establishment of divine order. It's important that we let go and let God. And even when we do our affirmations and our denials are a way of letting go. It's like saying, I no longer allow this to affect my life. I now am whole, free, well. There's a song it was written by Ricky Byers and Michael Beckwith. It's I Release and I Let Go. That was going to be the music that Mary was going to play. But let me read the words. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all myself. And I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only up to God. Those are lyrics to I release and I let go. The last verse is no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, it's only up to God. Remember, release is the ability to let go. Whatever I release blesses me. Now, it's not always, we don't always see that. You know, I have given away many books or many things, and then I need them. So I figured I have to change my mindset that whatever I release, it blesses me. At the end of the year, or at the beginning of the year, we do it both times, we have a burning bowl ritual. It's symbolic for our releasing things that no longer serve us, like bad habits or things such as procrastination, anger, stress, characteristics we don't want to take into the new year. And we take a piece of paper, we write on the top of the paper, this no longer serves me. Now you can do this anytime. It doesn't have to be the end of the year or the beginning of the year. This no longer serves me. And so you write out the things that you want to let go of. Maybe it's procrastination, maybe whatever, the stress, the anger, that type of thing. You don't let go of people, but you let go of maybe characteristics. And then when we're doing a burning bowl service, we write that out, we walk to the bowl, and there's a flame in it, and we drop it in, and as we drop it in with the thought, I release it, and I let it go. I let go of what no longer serves me. And once that's done, it's burned up, we write out what we'd like to see happen in the new year. So if you do a little ceremony like this in your house, be careful. Do it near your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink. And you can write out on the top of the paper, this no longer serves me. Write out what you want to let go of. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's concern that you won't have enough. The things that you just write out, then you burn it up. And then you take another piece of paper and write out what you'd like to see. Maybe you want to feel confident. So I see this happening now, that I am confident, that I am wealthy, I am whatever it is. I am no longer fearful. You get it? Maybe you want to get rid of stress and live happily. And so in order to get rid of stress and live happily in our world, we must be willing to let go of worry, of anxiety, let go of those things. We must learn to live with other people without trying to dominate them or assume burdensome feelings of responsibility for the lives of others. We must be willing to give them the same freedom that we want for ourselves, the freedom to choose. We have to give them freedom sometimes when we feel they are making wrong choices, especially if it's our kids. If we don't, we will find that our stress-filled feelings about others will express in our own minds, our bodies, and our affairs, keeping from us the rich blessings that belong to us as children of God. So we must be also willing to release material things, particularly things that have fulfilled their purpose in our lives. I tend to keep too many things, and there are those who hoard. So the goal is to let go of those material possessions and and let go of that fear of loss. And you can do this because you've been willing to let the old go and receive new blessings. Our goal is to be in that place of letting go of the old beliefs. You know, it's like that idea with the elephants. Humans have thought that animals are not as intelligent as we are. But I want to say, I think quite a number of them are. I think we have to give up and release old beliefs and feelings to embrace a more expansive way of loving and being. Even our thoughts and feelings must be cleaned out. We must let go of obsessive tendencies. If we're going to live richly and fully in God's good world without tension or stress, we have to release and let go. And let the Spirit run our life. And friends, that's all I have to say about that today. And I'm assuming Mary still can't get through. I don't. Mary, can you play? Does anything come through? I think not. Well, it's that kind of day. So I'm going to invite you to hold your pockets, hold your pocketbooks, be in that place of, we have that opportunity to receive of offerings. And let's be in that place of knowing there is no lack or limitation in the mind of God, and there's no lack or limitation in our lives. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, and all the good I give and receive. I am grateful. You can go to unitysanleandro.org, and there's a donate button, and we appreciate your gifts and say thank you. And there's an address there also. We accept checks also. So we are grateful. Mary, you're there. I see you. And it is not playing. I don't know what happened. So interesting today. Let me just look one more time to see if by chance I hit the wrong button. I'm going to move this. It's not playing. Can you hear me, Mary? Yes, you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Want to try? Oh no, I see your fingers moving, but it's not working. Okay, well, you can see she's there, and you can see I'm here looking at her on that screen there. All right, so let's just be in a place of sharing our prayer for protection. I invite you to breathe and see that all the gifts that you have given are blessing you in return. Let there be peace on earth would be a nice song to sing, but we will do a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us, and the love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And I just realized that I totally forgot our announcements. Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. we have a prosperity class. And for the rest of November, I think we're going to take off for our Wednesday night classes. But Tuesday morning, we will do our prosperity class. All you have to do is go to the coffee cup on unitysanleandro.org. Click on that. That'll bring you right in at 9 a.m. Pacific time for our prosperity mornings. And we will have coffee hour, and I invite you to go to that same coffee cup. It has a heart-shaped cream in it at unitysanleandro.org. Click on that, and you can come into our coffee hour at 12 o'clock. Alrighty. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And Mary would be playing Let There Be Peace on Earth. and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family, all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with each one of us. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope all your electronics work beautifully this week.